Listen, y'all, if late June felt like an emotional pileup, July is here to say, hold my drink. We're walking right into a massive slow-cooked transition zone. The universe is forcing us to slow down, look backward, and audit our emotional histories, while simultaneously turning on giant blinding floodlights that demand we step into our authentic authority. Let's name the master theme of July, the fix your foundations, empty your emotional trash, and claim your main character energy overhaul. Here's the sarcastic, brilliant little paradox the stars are serving up this month. Half of the sky is screaming at you to charge onto the main stage, while the other half is dragging you by your ankles into a dark room to process your childhood feelings. First of all, Mercury is retrograde in the sensitive watery sign of Cancer until July 23rd. Mercury in Cancer doesn't care about your logic or your color-coded spreadsheets. It lives in your nostalgia. It's going to trigger tech glitches, delayed packages, and crossed wires. But more than that, it's dragging old family dynamics, ancestral baggage, and emotional cycles out of the closet for a mandatory performance review. But wait. While we're swimming through the emotional past, Jupiter, the cosmic sugar daddy of luck and expansion, has just blazed into fiery Leo alongside Venus. This turns on the absolute stadium floodlights. It flips the switch on our creativity, confidence, and leadership. To make it even wilder, Neptune stations retrograde in Aries on July 7th, and Saturn stations retrograde in Pisces on July 26th. The universe is putting an absolute hard brake on our external momentum. It's telling us that we cannot build a magnificent Leo-style empire if our internal spiritual foundation is built on unhealed survival bracing and old emotional debt. The cosmic medicine here: use the new moon in Cancer on July 14th to quietly reset your relationships, pack up what no longer serves your safety, and plant seeds of genuine soul-level security. Then, when the sun enters Leo on July 22nd and Mercury finally stations direct on July 23rd, you can step out of the cave and run full speed into your power. Now, listen for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus to see exactly which 2 rooms of your life are getting a high voltage renovation this month. Aries. The houses that are getting a renovation for you is your 4th house of home and roots and your 5th house of joy, creativity, and romance. Mercury retrograde is messing with your household appliances, plumbing, or family communication. Don't pick fights at the dinner table. Use the new moon on the 14th to repair your domestic space. The gorgeous news: Jupiter and Venus in Leo are completely exploding your 5th house of romance, play, and creative genius. Step into the light and create something beautiful. Taurus is hitting your 3rd house of mindset and communication and your 4th house of home, family, and sanctuary. With the retrograde in your 3rd house, your foot is practically glued to the inside of your mouth. Misunderstandings with neighbors or siblings are easy right now. Think 3 times before you speak. The magic happens on July 22nd when the sun and Jupiter light up your 4th house, turning your home into an absolute hive of joy, luxury, and memory making. Blessings are pouring straight into your sanctuary. Gemini, it's going to affect your 2nd house of money and self-worth and your 3rd house of local circles, voice, and writing. Old money anxieties or financial paperwork delays are testing your patience due to the retrograde in your 2nd house. Do not panic spend or sign unverified contracts. Your self-worth isn't tied to your productivity metrics. Jupiter in Leo is radically upgrading your 3rd house of communication, making it the perfect golden year to write, speak, network, and pitch your big ideas to the world. Cancer, July is hitting your 1st house of identity and body, in your 2nd house of personal finances and values. Mercury retrograde is stationed directly on your face in your 1st house all month, making you deeply introspective, nostalgic, and a little spaced out. The new moon in your sign on July 14th is your personal cosmetic and soul reset. Stop rescuing everyone else. Okay? Jupiter in Leo is officially moving into your 2nd house, kicking off your most successful financial year in a decade. Prepare for major upgrades to your actual wealth and inner worth. Leo, July is hitting your 12th house of subconscious and healing and your 1st house of identity, body, and presence. The sun in retrograde in Cancer have you wanting to pull the blinds, hide from the world, and process old ancestral cycles in your private 12th house. Let yourself rest without feeling guilty. Why hide? Because Jupiter is officially in your first house for the next 13 months, handing you total, undeniable main character energy. When the sun hits Leo on the 22nd, you are stepping back onto the throne, my love. Virgo, July is going to hit your 11th house of friendships and tribes and your 12th house of subconscious mastery and quiet growth. Miscommunications, ghosts of friendships past, or petty drama might rattle the group chat this month in the 11th house. Don't overanalyze or try to fix people who don't want to be fixed. Jupiter in Leo is turning on the lights in your 12th house, asking you to quietly build your spiritual and intuitive foundation behind the scenes. Your real progress right now is entirely invisible, and that is exactly how it should be. Libra, July is going to hit your 10th house of career and public legacy and your 11th house of soul tribes and community. Delays, schedule friction, and tech failures at work are testing your diplomacy thanks to the retrograde in your 10th house. The new moon on the 14th is a beautiful green light for career resets. Step into heart-centered leadership. Jupiter moving into Leo completely revitalizes your 11th house of community, bringing powerful, expansive, and high vibrational friendships into your life to help your biggest dreams fly. Congratulations in advance. Scorpio, July is going to hit your 9th house of higher wisdom and travel and your 10th house of career, status, and executive authority. Summer travel plans, higher learning logistics, or legal matters could hit major retrograde snags in your 9th house. Pivot quickly and stop trying to micromanage the future. Look at the big picture here. Professionally, Jupiter in Leo is landing right in your 10th house, handing you the keys to the castle, my love. Your career status, visibility, and leadership roles are expanding massively this month. Congratulations to you as well. Sagittarius, July is going to affect your 8th house of intimacy and shadow work and your 9th house of higher wisdom, horizons, and travel. Now, the retrograde is pulling you deep into your 8th house of ancestral cabinetry, forcing raw reviews of shared resources, debts, and vulnerability blocks. Stop cracking jokes to escape intimacy, okay? Do the shadow work. Jupiter entering your fellow fire sign in the 9th house is your giant breath of fresh air, opening up massive luck around long distance travel, media, publishing, and spiritual growth. Capricorn, it's going to affect your 7th house of partnerships and mirrors and your 8th house of deep vulnerability and shared wealth. Miscommunications with partners or texts from your exes are highly likely while Mercury backs through your 7th house of commitments. Use the new moon on the 14th to reset your relationship dynamics. Drop the hyper-independent armor, okay? Jupiter in Leo is expanding your 8th house of deep intimacy and investments, helping you safely receive support and energetic wealth from others without keeping a rigid ledger. Aquarius, July is going to affect your 6th house of daily routines and somatic health and your 7th house of one-on-one partnerships. Now, erratic schedules, misplaced emails, and physical overstimulation in your 6th house are telling you that your daily grind is completely unsustainable. Stop treating your body like an unfeeling machine. Slow down and integrate somatic rest. The beautiful news here, though, Jupiter in Leo is bringing radiant, lucky, and generous expansion straight into your 7th house of life, love, marriage, and core collaborations. Love that for you. And finally, Pisces. This July is affecting your 5th house of creativity and play and your 6th house of daily rhythms, habits, and wellness. The retrograde activates your 5th house of self-expression. Use the new moon on the 14th to reconnect with pure, unadulterated joy and creative play without needing external validation. With Neptune and Saturn both retrograding in your sign, Jupiter in Leo steps into the 6th house to hand you the exact vitality, discipline, and drive needed to entirely optimize your physical health, daily habits, and work environment for the better. Now, everyone, the next time you feel the urge to push past a tech glitch, panic over a delayed plan, or snap at a family member over a misunderstood text, pause. Take a sacred pause and breathe. Step back from the external chaos. Hit double save on your life, ground your nervous system, and let the old unhealed cycles clear out. The spotlight is waiting for you, but you've got to clear the stage first. We are in this cosmic overhaul together, friend. Drink your water and don't forget to breathe.